Hello, my name's Ben Smith. I'm a Somerset County Farm tenant, and I farm at Dowlish Ford, Ilminster, at Greenway Farm. I run a dairy farm with a small farm shop, which we do raw milk. We're one of 3 in Somerset that have a licence to sell raw milk on a small scale. And my wife does jams, chutneys and cakes, and does farmers markets. And I run that with my 2 daughters, Trinity and Scarlett, and my wife Catherine.
My name's Dave Crab. I'm also a county farm tenant at Oxenford near Dowlish Wake. We've got about 70 milking cows, 100 free range pigs. We've also set up a yurt campsite this year, so people come to stay on the farm. I actually had them in milking with me this morning, which is quite amusing. We also do 4 farmers markets a month. We also do hog roast for weddings, any sort of catering like that. So yeah, I'm here with Janice, my wife. We've got 2 sons, Terry and Martin. Terry actually works for Francis Bugler at Bennett Sturd as a track mechanic, so he's actually got into the agricultural business through this farm. And Martin actually works on another farm down at Taunton, so he's actually in agriculture as well.
I'm a first generation farmer. That means that none of my family are farmers. Always been around farming since the age of, about 10. Used to mess about on my friend's uncle's farm. Done a city and guilds in bricklaying when I left school, and then went back into farming rapidly as a herdsman for somebody. And then at the age of 27, I managed to buy 40 cows and went shared farming in a view to get a county farm to rent so I could do my own farming enterprise.
I'm a first generation farmer as well. Always been around farms ever since the age of 8 or 10, helping on farms. Left school, went to work on a farm. Then I'd done a bit of lorry driving, got a class 1 HGV, so I can do that as well. It wasn't until I was about 37 I got a county council farm, and I was a herdsman until then. We actually sold our house in Holman to do this, to finance it. So we've got quite a lot invested.
We are on the understanding that policy has been changed to review the core estates, which is Donyat and Quantock Estate, which is near Bridgewater, in a view to disperse of it. So we didn't really know anything about this before the 12th of July. We understand that the review will be carried out in 2 months, and then we should know the futures of our farms. That is about all we do know at the moment. So it's very bleak, and nobody really knows what the future holds for their businesses, families, school life, any of it.
We've all had a questionnaire asking if we want to buy the farms. Whether any of us can actually afford to buy the farms is another matter, with the actual financial climate like it is. Whether any banks be willing to lend us any money is another thing. But we've just really got to wait and see at the moment and see what happens. Whether a big landlord will come along and buy it all and keep us in farming would be very nice, but we just have to wait and see.
Me and Dave are part of the County Farm Tenants Association. Dave's the chairman. What am I?
You're vice chairman.
Vice chairman. I can be vice chairman, self-nominated. We've had various tenants meetings. We've had quite good turnouts from the 60 tenants that are on Somerset County Farms. We've been to the cabinet meetings at Shire Hall in Taunton. We just been doing everything we can. The NFU are heavily involved, the TFA are heavily involved, but despite all our actions and all our efforts, we have been unable to turn their policy round, so they are looking at disposing of county farms. which is, as I say, 60 holdings. It's approximately 6,750 acres, there or thereabouts. And many of us have diversified into many other things, and it would be such a dramatic loss to Somerset once these holdings are dispersed of.
Somerset can't be the only county that this has happened to. Where else has it happened?
Well, as far as I know, I think Oxfordshire sold all theirs for quite a fair few years ago. Norfolk were looking at selling theirs, but they had done a U-turn and kept them. But most councils have been selling off farms for a very long time now. But Somerset just seems to be taking the bull by the horns and just want to sell the lot at the moment. So hopefully we'll be able to change it, but we'll keep fighting, won't we? So see what happens. Really just waiting to see now when these reviews get back, and if any tenants can buy it, and if the tenants can't buy it, what's going to happen after that. So we've had meetings with the MPs, Ian Little Granger and David Laws. David Laws has written to Prince Charles, the Duchy, the Crown. The Crown say they're monitoring the situation but aren't in a position to make an offer yet. And the Duchy said that they are again monitoring it, but they have got commitments elsewhere. So whether a big landlord will come along and purchase it, we hope, but we don't know yet.
What are the advantages to the county council of selling these farms?
Money. Quick fix money would be the advantage of selling county farms. We understand that the repayment, the interest on the debt that Somerset has is approximately 35 million a year to repay the interest on the debt. The farm estate is worth between, if it was all sold as sitting tenants, between 25 and 40 million. So it will be a quick fix, a 1-year solution to pay an interest payment, basically. The long-term benefit from keeping county farms is approximately 650,000 goes back into the taxpayers' pockets from county farms as rent from their tenants.
Plus that they could take away harvest stuff like old disused barns for barn conversions and things like that, which quite a lot of the other farms have got. They've already actually done ours. There's 4 houses over there that used to be on this farm. There used to be the farm buildings. They got 335,000 for that about 9 years ago. So there's a lot of that they could do, but they haven't done.
In the last 5 years, the rents have been 1.76 million. This is over a 5-year period, and there has been 17.8 million pounds worth of sales, land, farms. So that has all gone back into the taxpayer pockets, and there is still a viable county farm estate left after all of that. I would love it if my daughters could eventually either rent their own farm or carry on in my footsteps. You know, that would be real nice.
Let's not forget, me and Ben, we're first generation farmers. We've been very lucky to get these farms. And if these farms are sold, you won't have no first generation farmers again.
No.
That'd be gone. If these farms do come up for sale, like vacant possession, they're just going to be all split up. It's going to be like people coming down from London buying the houses. It's going to be the people with horses looking for a bit more land to keep their horses on. And it's just going to be the local farmers, the owner farmers who are big farmers, just going to get bigger. The small farmers are really up against it.
We've had a questionnaire sent out. The questionnaire basically says your views and general comments of the future of your holding. Number 2, your views on county farm estate. And then we've got another questionnaire which we've all filled out and all sent back in. If your holding was to be identified for dispersal as part of county farms, would you be interested in the purchase of? We have the whole holding, the farmstead only, Farmstead with some land, please indicate the amount. Other, please specify. If you do not wish or are unable to purchase, what would your preference be for the future of your holding? We've all filled this out. We have not been told any indication of how much an acre we are looking at to purchase. We don't know the values of our farmhouses. If we have old stone barns, we don't know the value of the old stone barns. We know nothing. This is what we've been sent out. We've all sent it back. The ideal solution would be, like Dave said earlier, is a larger landlord buy the estate to take it out of the political nastiness that it's in, so they can't keep stripping assets away from it, and the estate can be run to be farmed.
The chance we've had won't be there for others.
No, not so.
So, and you really did have to fight to get these farms, but it's not an easy task. The farms were set up after the Second World War. They were actually set up after the First World War for the soldiers coming home from the First World War to so that they could go farming. And they had been in the ownership of the people of Somerset for that long, and we would really like to keep them in the ownership of the people of Somerset, because it's a very valuable asset for the people of Somerset, because it is their farms. We just look after them for them, really, don't we?